Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle again, back with the video. And today I'm going to do my NFL Week 16 picks. Last week, I went 11-5, overall 148, 61, and 1. So let's go on to the this week's picks. So we'll start off with Thursday Night Football, December 18th, 6:15 Mountain Time, Prime Video. We got the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Going with the Rams here to win. I think the Rams there look really, really strong there. They actually mostly defeated a really good team last week there. They kept up with the really good team up last week there and mostly keeping them up. The Seahawks there were having a kicking duel against the Colts last week there. They technically barely won it last week against the Colts. But I'm gonna say the Rams win it here. I mostly might trust the Rams here to win it. Rams have something to play for to possibly win their division there. So this is possibly whoever is gonna win the division here. But I'm gonna say Rams win it here. I think the Rams actually have a much better schedule there, or a better team there, and the Seahawks do. So I'm going to say Rams over Seahawks. That's it for Sunday or Thursday. So let's move on to Saturday, December 20th. We got a 3 o'clock game, Mountain Time, Prime Time, Fox. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Going with the Commander. I'm going with the Eagles here to win. Eagles there look really, really sharp there. They can actually do something more, a lot of damage in this game. Mostly the Commanders there. They do not have Jaden Daniels there. He's out for the rest of the season there. Mostly got injured again there. 2 weeks ago he got injured again there. Marky Ariota is playing in this game here against the Eagles there. But I really doubt the Commanders are looking for a win here. I think they're really trying to go for a draft pick at this point here. So I'm going to say the Eagles mostly blow them out. Eagles there are trying to fight for something there. They're trying to fight for their playoff hopes there. I think the Eagles are going to win it here over the Commanders. Next game. That's it for the 3 o'clock game. So we'll move on to the next Saturday game. We have a 6:20 game, Mountain Time, Primetime Fox. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. This game is going to be who's ever going to win the division here. Whoever's going to win the division here. It could be Green Bay or it could be Chicago here. Whoever can win this division here and stuff. I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to go with the Bears here to win. Reason why I'm going with the Bears here to win and why I'm picking the upset here. This game could be massively close here, but there's no Michael Parsons on the Green Bay side there. So technically, without Michael Parsons there, that defense is mostly going to get carved up there. They technically got carved up by us last week there. Most of the Packers technically got carved up by us last week there. Mostly when Parsons was out there, not when he was in. When he was in there, we were having struggles with when Parsons was in. But when he was out of the game, technically Green Bay there was actually struggling there. Jordan Love, he's starting to go back to what he was starting to play there when he first started playing in 2023. I think he's going to have the same issues there against this Bears team there. The Bears there might want revenge from losing against them last time because they lost by 1 point last time, mostly with Parsons out there. I think they can actually do something against them. I'm going to say the Bears win it. I'm going to go with the Bears here to win it in a close fashion. Green Bay will still keep it in the game, but I really doubt with Parsons out, the Packers do not have a good thing on defense there. They don't have a good thing on defense. So I'm going to say Bears over Packers. That's it for the Saturday game, so we move on to Sunday, December 21st. We got the 11 o'clock games, Mountain Time. First on the 11 o'clock games, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. Going with the Bills here to win. I think the Bills actually have a much better terms there to actually win this game here, going against them. Mostly, I'm going to say this is going to be possibly going to be a blowout here. This game is going to be a blowout, no contest. Bills should win this game pretty easily. They have Josh Allen there who can actually run the ball there. He can actually use his legs in this game here and stuff for it. The Bills there look really, really strong there, and I think they can actually do something against this team. The Browns there have been massively struggling there, and I do not see what I do not see what Chicago is going to do, or not Chicago. I won't see what Cleveland's going to do in this game. I'm going to say Bills in a domination. I'm going to give them domination of the week here. Next game, we got the LA Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. This game is going to be an interesting game here, but I'm going to say the Chargers win it. I think the Chargers actually have a much better roster here, and they actually did pretty well against Kansas City last week there. So I'm going to say they're going to possibly going to go against this Dallas team there. Dallas doesn't have a good defense there, so technically Herbert's going to possibly going to light them up in this game. So I'm going to say I'm going to say Chargers win it here over the Cowboys. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. This is the ship of the week here. I'm going with the Chiefs here to win. There's no. I think the Titans are really trying to keep the number one seed there, or not the number one seed. They're trying to keep the number one draft pick at this point there. So mostly them losing there will still contain the draft pick here. Even if Patrick Mahomes is out there with the ACL and the MCL there, I don't know how with the ACL and MCL. I hope Mahomes gets better. Even if I don't like Mahomes there, that does kind of suck there. He actually got injured like that. But without Patrick Mahomes there, the Chiefs are possibly going to struggle into the. I really doubt the Chiefs are going to struggle against the Titans. The Titans are pretty bad. They're pretty worse. So I'm going to say Chiefs over Titans. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins. Going with the Dolphins here to win. I think the Dolphins actually have a much better thing with Tua and Waddle there. Waddle and Tua mostly carve this. Really beat this Bengals team. This Bengals team is really struggling there. Their defense is pretty bad. So I'm going to say Dolphins win it. I can't really say too much about this game. Dolphins win it here over the Bengals. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. Going with the Saints here to win. Can't say nothing about this game either. But I'm going to say the Saints win it here. They look really better. They are starting to come around versus the Jets there, who honestly is struggling. So I'm going to say Saints over Jets. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. Going with the Vikings here to win. I think the Vikings actually have a much better. Mostly, I'm going to say the Vikings win it here. Even if the Vikings do have really bad quarterbacks there, and we've been seeing that there, if they actually have really bad quarterbacks, Giants can't do nothing in this game. I think they're massively going to struggle. So I'm going to say Vikings win it in a sloppy fashion. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game here. Next game, we got the Tampa Bucks at the Carolina Panthers. This is a battle for first place in the NEC South. So, yes, this is a battle for first place in the NEC South here. I'm going to go with the Bucks here to win. I think the Bucks there look really, really strong there. And I think Baker Mayfield is mostly going to go down that Panthers defense there and mostly owning them there. I think it's going to be interesting of a fight here. But also, the Panthers are pretty a sneaky team there. I won't be surprised if the Panthers win it here, but I'm gonna go with the safe pick here and say the Bucks win it. I think the Bucks can actually do something going against this Panthers team, and it's going to be an interesting fight here. This is going to be possibly a battle for first place in the NEC South there. So whoever gets it there will possibly get the 4th seed in the NEC. So I'm gonna say Bucks. I'm gonna say Bucks win it, but I'm playing the safe card right now and say the Bucks should win this one over the Panthers. That's it for the 11 o'clock game. So we'll move on to the 2:05 games Mountain Time. First on the 2:05, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at my Denver Broncos. This game is going to be an interesting game. This game is going to be the hardest game of the year for us. But I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win. It's technically we actually have our defense there. Our defense has been playing outstanding football lately. Bo Nix there, he's starting to play really, really good there. Mostly did pretty well against Green Bay last week and not getting hit there. So he actually looked really good last week against them. He looked really good last week against the Packers there. We actually have our defense there who honestly did pretty well last week against the Packers. I think we can actually do something against the Jaguars also. Most of the Jaguars there have Trevor Lawrence there, and this is the guy I'm a little bit scared of there, playing against Trevor Lawrence this week. But I think we can actually handle him there. Our defense looks really, really sharp there, and I think it's going to be an interesting fight. So I'm going to say my Broncos, once again, wins in a close fashion. I think this game is going to be possibly a close fashion type of game here. So I'm going to say my Broncos over Jaguars. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Going with the Falcons here to win. I think the Falcons actually have a little bit more advantage here over the Cardinals here. Cardinals there, they're not really playing for nothing at this point. They're technically out of the playoffs there. The Falcons there have something to maybe try to grasp on. Both teams are, well, I guess you can say both teams are out of the playoffs. But I'm going to say the Falcons have something a little bit more advantage. This game is going to be a pretty boring snores fest of a game where both teams do not want the football there, and both teams are going to try to lose. But I'm going to say the Falcons pull it out here and win this one against the Cardinals. That's it for the 2:05 game. Let's move on to the 2:25 games Mountain Time. First on the 2:25, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. Going with the Lions here to win. I think the Lions look really, really strong there, and I think they can actually do something to go in against the Steelers team. Technically, Ben Roethlisberger there. He technically lost one of his weapons last week on that Monday Night Football game there, in that victory in that Monday Night Football game there. I'm going to say the Lions win it here. I think Dan Campbell's going to try to find his ways to win it here in this game. Mostly going against the Steelers team, who honestly is struggling there. The Steelers are actually massively struggling here, but I'm going to say the Lions win it here in a close fashion here. So I'm going to say Lions over Steelers. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raider haters at the Houston Texans. Going with the Texans here to win. I think the Texans can get it something fully going there. This is going to be a possibility of domination there. This is going to be a possibility of domination here. Going with the Texans here to win. I think the Texans can actually find their strides there. Kenny Pickett there. He played awful last week there against the Seahawks there. So, or not against the Seahawks, against the Eagles last week, and mostly the Eagles tended to blow them out last week. Pickens didn't look the best there last week there. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be I'm gonna say the haters have nothing else to play for here, but I think the Texans they're trying to fight for the 7th seed, or trying to fight to stay in the playoffs there. So I'm gonna say Texans. I'm going to say the Texans win it here over the haters. That's it for that game. So we move on to Sunday Night Football, 6:20 Mountain Time, Primetime, NBC, and Peacock. We got the New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Ravens here to win. I think the Ravens can get it done there against the Patriots. The Patriots there look really good with Drake May. May actually has a little bit more of a Tom Brady type of feel to him there, but the Ravens there, they need a fight there to stay alive in the playoff race there. They need to stay alive in the playoff race there, possibly keeping their number one number one in the NEC North there, the AFC North there. They want to try to keep the number one in the AFC North. So I do not see what the Patriots there look really, really strong. They look really thing there, but they did struggle against Buffalo last week there. So going against the Ravens here, who honestly are kind of trying to fight for a playoff spot here. I think New England, I think it's going to be a close fight here, but I'm going to say Ravens pull it out here and eke it out in this game. I'm going to go with the Ravens here, win over the Patriots. That's it for that game. That's it for the Sunday game. So we move on to Monday Night Football, December 22nd. 6:15 Mountain Time, Prime Time, ESPN and ABC. We got the Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts. Going with the Colts here to win. I'm going with the Niners here to win. Niners look really, really strong there. They actually have a lot more stuff there going against them and stuff. The mostly knowing the Colts there actually are starting Phillip Rivers there. Even Daniel Jones is out with Achilles there. Mostly Phillip Rivers is mostly filling it in there. Rivers did okay last week there against the Seahawks here, but mostly going against this Niners team who honestly looks really, really sharp there and really, really stout there. I do not see what the Colts can actually fully do against this Niners team who honestly has Christian McCaffrey there who can actually outrun them there. So I'm gonna say Niners over Colts. So yep, that's from our shit. Comment, rate, my response to Tuesday Bros. We like what else. Please subscribe for the notification on simple as your listeners. My response to Tuesday Bros. Like out. Have a peace.